Hi everybody, welcome to the Line by Line. Today again back with my most awesome guests, Lynn and Agent 69. We are analyzing a song called Fireflies by Owl City.
Okay, you would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep, because they fill the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You'd think me rude, but I would just stand and stare.
I would like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I would rather stay awake when I'm asleep, because everything is never as it seems.
Because I'd get 1,000 hugs from the 1,000 ladybugs as they tried to teach me how to dance. A foxtrot above my head, a sock hop beneath my bed. A disco ball is just hanging by a thread.
Leave my door open, just a crack. Please take me away from here, because I feel like such an insomniac. Please take me away from here. Why do I tire of counting sheep? Please take me away from here when I'm too far tired to fall asleep.
To 10 million butterflies, to 10 million fireflies. I'm weird because I hate goodbyes. I got misty eyes as they said farewell, but I know where several are. If my dreams get real bizarre, because I saved a few and kept them in a jar.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, Aline, why did you choose that song?
Okay, it's a very enchanted song for me, and for me it's also about pattern recognition on what's important and what's not. And there was in the 80s. I was out camping near a river, the South Fork of the Salmon River, north of Boise, Idaho. And we had been rafting, and then we went and camped. And I seen the miracle. I seen four fireflies in southern Idaho, which they're not there. But we were camping, and these fireflies were around our camp spot in southern Idaho. And because fireflies exist like in Florida or down south, they don't exist so far north. And so this was a miracle to me. And so whenever I think about the song, I think about miracles and seeing things differently and pattern recognition. So that's why I chose it. So let's see if we can close the loop. I don't know if it has a narrative to it or not.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep, because they fill the open air and leave teardrops everywhere. You would think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. So what do you guys think about that line? Lynn?
Fairy kisses?
Yes.
Fairy kisses from elves and gnomes and the underworld, maybe? Is it the underworld? I don't know. The magical world of magic.
Enchantment, yeah. So what about the teardrops? You know, the thing that strikes me is this song, I always thought was such a beautiful, happy, positive, light song, and seeing the depth of the lyrics, right? And I agree with Lynn 100% about the enchantment. That's true. I'd love to hear your guys' insight and leave teardrops everywhere.
I think about stars and the teardrops is him crying, seeing that beauty. So he sees the sky, that Milky Way lit up by, he would call fireflies maybe those stars. As he falls asleep, the stars kind of dancing and the tears just flow down his cheeks. you would think me rude, but I would just stand and stare. So that view is so beautiful that he would rather not sleep, but look at it all the time. Yeah, I do think it's like an enchantment and appreciation of this beauty. What do you think?
So at nighttime is when the fireflies come out and the stars. So I guess it's a light, and then of course I can't help when you say stars, I can't help to think of angels as well. You know, there's some people that don't, I'm not sure I even believe, but there's this thing about belief in that realm, that the supernatural or angels exist and can help us, or if we call out.
I think it's gratitude, Eva, to that beauty.
Gratitude.
Yes. Even though they think it's rude, he would just look at it all the time. That's how appreciative he is. I do feel it's a childhood wonder. Like he feels that childhood wonder, and we carry it through all our lives. We should always remember, like there is this little child inside us who should continuously be bewildered by whatever we see. That's what this brings up in me.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too. Like my initial hearing of the song, I remember like thinking the wonderness of it. And then Lynn really speaks to the liminal space between the enchanted world and the normal world is kind of what comes to mind, right?
Yeah.
Would you like me to read the next stanza?
Totally, 100%.
Okay. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, because everything is never as it seems.
Savoring, about
Yeah.
savoring and savoring friends and savoring experiences. I guess we only get one chance. We only get one shot at this life. So
as far as we know.
I don't know.
I like the way you, sorry, Lynn. Yeah, anyway, I like what you said. And yeah, wanting the world, wanting it to go slowly, like wanting to savor and hold on to that moment. I'd like to make myself believe that the planet Earth turns slowly. And then also, like, I thought of like the lifespan of a firefly versus the lifespan of a human. And then when you take that onto the cosmic scale, you know, like I want the Earth, like if you think about how fast the Earth is spinning in the galaxy and galaxies are spinning and just that huge scale. And here he is looking at it, being awestruck and wanting to hold on to that moment.
He said he would like a planet Earth turn slowly, but I think he would like, when he says, I would like myself to believe, this means it's a statement that he currently doesn't believe that. He thinks planet Earth really spinning super fast. And it's hard to say that I would rather stay awake when I'm asleep. He doesn't want to miss out because he has this, again, childhood wonder and like desire to discover new things, to understand the way things work. So everything is never as it seems. I think he just like wants to find out how it is actually. Like, so he would sacrifice his sleep to understand the world. Yeah, because there is not enough time for him.
Yeah, this reminds me of a memory that I have, if I may. I remember in university, we were sitting around talking, we're like, wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to sleep? Think of how much more stuff you could do. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could like read or learn or study all kinds of things, and then you know, like, wouldn't it be great if you never had to sleep? So, but then again, you need those dreams, right? Like, yeah, sleep's amazing.
Perhaps when we are asleep, we also travel somewhere. We just
Oh yeah.
like it's for people who suffer from insomnia because of fear of missing out. Dreams can take you places, and if you don't sleep, you might miss out on those.
Yeah, this resonates very much my personal lived experience because I am bipolar, so I've had manic episodes where I didn't sleep for 3 days, which isn't fun. And also, where was I going with that? Yeah, and I often have bad dreams, and then I wake up and I don't want to go back to sleep. And but like, yeah, but it sounds like he'd rather stay awake. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but
maybe he tries to understand the world, and he wants to continuously doing it. And for him, he does it when he's awake, because when he's asleep, he is not in control. Maybe.
Mm.
Don't know.
That's interesting that you share a personal story. Agent 69. Because I was thinking that same thing of because of my visual disability, people that go blind, they have a switch. They get their days and nights confused. They can't tell the difference between one or the other, because yeah, obviously if you can't see, you have a switch from that. So I was thinking about that as well. And then the other thing that I was thinking about was how we lie to ourselves. So it's so I wonder if it's wise to chase it. You know what I mean? Chasing the wonderment or chasing the adventure. You know, it's like chasing the high or the, I don't know.
Yeah, we might miss out on something.
Chasing the dream, right? Like, yeah. Lynn, I want to ask you a personal question. I apologize. So, Lynn, when you sleep, do you see perfectly? Because I've heard that people that were born blind have to learn how to see blind. If they don't regain their vision by a certain age, they'll never be able to see, regardless of whether everything's working physically in the eye. So, when you sleep, do you see everything?
Yeah, certainly. Yes, but I have my vision. It's just gradually losing it throughout my life. So, so I have, you know, it's like looking through a straw. My vision is right now. So I see colors and things of that nature. But as the disease continues, my eyes will continue to deteriorate and get worse and worse. So. That's just something that I would dread. It's like I don't want to be blind because I don't want to get in this predicament where I can't tell the difference between night and day, or you know, it's a fear thing for me. It's like dread of losing even more vision than I have. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'll bring you down.
No, you did not. It's actually
it was great.
and I was wondering about dreams as well. Actually, like if you have dreams, because I have some minor sight issues, and in the dreams, my dreams are still kind of HD in a sense, but I don't know, like so it's whatever your brain gives you, right? Like, and if in your dreams you have vivid colors and everything is this way, I think you might keep it forever. Like, you will still close your eyes and remember that it's not completely gone.
Well, that's something to look forward to then.
Oh, yeah. It's a comfort,
You know,
but not like I wish.
you know, even I'm struck by even the importance of dreams and even the way we use dreams in other ways. Like we don't just use dreams as sleeping, but we, I have big dreams, or what are your dreams? Like, why is that related to some form of unconsciousness, right? Like that's kind of intriguing. Like, you know what I mean? Like the fact that if you have dreams in your life of accomplishing something, that's related to something that you experience in your unconscious.
Yeah, I agree about the dreams. That thing is traveling for me in a sense.
Because I get 1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs as they tried to teach me how to dance. A foxtrot above my head, a sock hop beneath my bed, a disco ball is just hanging by a thread. The last line that I mentioned before, because everything is never as it seems, that sense of enchantment and the sense of mirth and enjoyment and of like having this sense of nature, be it the ladybugs, the stars, or the universe, teaching you how to dance, right? And like almost not wanting to go to sleep because you're just like so enthralled.
It reminds me of times in my garden when I had one, my strawberry garden, where I would be, weeding, and a ladybug would come and crawl on me, and I'd sit there and play with the ladybugs. You remember us, you like look at the little dots, and then the ladybug like crawls all over you, and then it just like it gets all whatever and decides to fly away. They're just I just love ladybugs.
Yeah. Me too. It's also connected to childhood memories, ladybugs.
Yeah, it's funny, and I think of like the disenchantment as you get older, because like I haven't done that since I was a child. You know what I mean? This summer I think I'll make that on my bucket list. The next time I see a ladybug, I'm going to sit and savor the ladybug.
You can make it climb up the finger and let it fly. Yeah, ladybugs, they like to find the highest spot on your body. Like you can put it up in the air. We used to say even something.
That it would almost make an interesting metaphor in itself, right?
I think from that thing, 1,000 hugs from 10,000 little bugs. So, and they teach him how to dance. He's dreaming of a company.
Of like company of people?
Just some company of somebody. And he sees it as those tiny beings of light that come to him and give him company. I feel like he's alone here, feels alone, but he's a dreamer. So he dreams of this 1,000 lightning bugs, a disco ball just hanging by a thread. So he's a social person, but alone. Like the disco ball, it turns around, it gives those little sparkles, and it's associated with the dance. So I think he's alone at his home, and the disco ball turns, and he has all this imagery of lights on the wall turning around, and it feels to him like a hug from people.
Do you think he
attaches that?
Do you think he knew how to dance before? Like maybe like, do you think he's had people to dance with before?
Maybe
the bugs. Yeah, maybe like as they tried to teach me how to dance. Like he doesn't know how to dance even, maybe. I don't know.
I just think of the awkwardness.
Yes. Oh, brilliant.
There's times in my life where I'm so awkward. It's like awkward. I don't do anything right. It's like, you have this intention to be so elegant and eloquent. Say that, do everything. It's like a bull in the china closet.
I totally relate to that. Can confirm.
Yeah, like to me, it is a dreamer who sings that song. Like he dreams, daydreaming somehow, and he sees all that imagery. I would like to hear his story, his side of the story behind that song. Interesting. Was it like 13 years ago that this song was written? Like
Wow.
2009, 2010, I guess. Beautiful. I will have to check that information though. Disco ball hanging by a thread.
You know, I think of my own personal social, like not that I want to tell it my personal story, but I will share with you. It's just the awkwardness for hugging because my family, we didn't hug, and like the first, it's like that. And then so you learn how to hug, learn how to dance. And like Lynn bespoke of that social awkwardness. But sometimes maybe people are raised in a manner where everyone in their family is an introvert and they don't know how. But maybe it's like that story of the lion that thought he was a sheep, or the swan that thinks it's a duck, and like so like maybe he's someone that does dance or does like hug or show those emotions, but he's never been taught that, right? And then he suddenly can encounter with the ineffable beauty of the love of the universe and life, right?
Yeah, I have been hugged a lot as a child, and I go out like every week to singing, a cappella singing circles with a lot of people, and we hug each other. Like we start evenings from giving each other a big hug. Somehow it's a thing, like it's very important before and after singing together and dancing together, that you feel kind of accepted. Like a hug, embrace itself is a part of, like, is a feeling of being accepted. And so in the family, if you would not hug, like it would, like, people would feel not accepted somehow. And yeah, we should all give each other, like, even virtual hugs all the time. Yeah, because we accept each other. It's very important. And he's thinking, like, he doesn't sleep in that song, and he imagining being hugged just for some reason by bugs, but still, like, I don't judge. It's like being hugged by beings of light, basically. Maybe it's some
Yeah.
sort of metaphor, being hugged by 1,000 beings of light. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I was thinking about
metaphor.
The Buddhism term of the 10,000 things too. I mean, I don't know a lot about Buddhism, but that makes me wonder if this person, the writer, was influenced by the 10,000 things in life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that beings of light. That is like that is beautiful, Kara. That is neat. Yeah.
Leave my door open, just a crack. Please take me away from here, because I feel like such an insomniac. Please take me away from here. Why do I tire of counting sheep? Please take me away from here, when I'm far too tired to fall asleep. So beings of light, yeah.
Certain things we can't control. Beings of light, are they one of them? I don't think so.
I think he said, I will leave the door open just a crack, so that only bugs can come in.
Or the light of heaven.
Maybe.
Or even to be around other people of life, like people that are full of the light. You know what I mean? Like you said, beings of light, you automatically assume like angels or maybe some kind of like higher being. But like, what about people that just have the light inside and you can see the light in them? You know what? And being surrounded by those people, the light people that have the light and hug and care for each other or whatever, right?
Yeah. Take me away from here. So he's alone.
Mm.
He cannot sleep. And he wants to go through tiny little crack in a door from here. I guess he just wants to be one of those light things that fly around. Maybe he wants to fall asleep.
I almost wonder if here, like, he's not dancing, he doesn't have that, and he's just awake, like, and can't sleep, and almost like, I think of it as a negative stanza in a sense, and maybe that's just because I've had experience with insomnia where you're just like, oh, please just let me fall asleep. But I can't stop thinking about these things that are bothering me or whatever, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a mystery. Lynn, what do you think?
Big sigh. What does that say?
I'm not sure. There's things that we can't. We try our best, to avoid, and we can't. And it's just like hits us in the face. And here it is in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. You have to get up in 1 hour and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm just creating a story, but so it's responsibility and being guided by the beings of light, or having friends to help guide you.
Maybe you two are beings of light. Kara and Lynn, beings of light. The sisters of light.
Sisters of light.
Oh yes. Eckhart Tolle. So I had watched an Eckhart Tolle video, and he was talking about how certain thoughts or certain things in the collective consciousness comes out and grabs us, and how they're not very helpful, or they cause suffering. They're not good to grasp onto. And so recognizing those things that are negative, or that that can come in a thought form, or something that's just relentless on your consciousness, that just won't leave you alone. So yeah, I was thinking about that. Eckhart Tolle's recent video on that.
Illuminating. So beings of light might be those new ideas that he has, adventures. But I still keep thinking about the disco ball that turns. And like I see that imagery, how he wrote it. So he would be lying alone in bed, and he would see that disco ball turn. He would see those little lights on the wall, on the ceiling, everywhere. And then he would be like, the planet Earth keeps turning. Like, and it's all kind of connected in that song, the little lights, and he's like, I just want to fall asleep. Yeah, so it is an insomniac song.
Do you think that he's in this stanza seems different than the other stanza? Like he's not in touch with the fireflies at this moment or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the other one seems like he's like awake and staring at the beauty, the transcendent. And this line seems to be like almost like he's disconnected from it.
Yes, now he's asking them to come in, and he's like, please come in, I will leave the door open.
Yes.
So before that, they would be, he would hope they would teach him to dance, and he would imagine this interaction with fireflies, the hugs and everything. But then they don't come in, and the night keeps progressing. And they're like, please come in, please take me away from here. I'm an insomniac, and And the last stanza here, he already kind of, I think it progresses. He's distancing from the fireflies. You're right. I actually did not notice this, Agent. So he's distancing. He gets further and further and further from the fireflies. So it is an evolution somehow. It starts with him admiring, then he would hope they would come in, then he asked them to come in. And now, what happened now?
Oh, this is interesting. To 10 million fireflies, I'm weird because I hate goodbyes. Imagine like it's like when you're around those people of light that you love because the light shines in them. And then, but there are always times when you have to leave them for a while, or you know what I mean? And then you say goodbye. You feel weird because you goodbye. And why does he feel weird? Because he's awkward and he never learned to dance and never learned, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so there's that expression of not knowing how to dance, not knowing how to hug or whatever. Yeah.
I got misty eyes as they said farewell, but I'll know where several are. But I will know where several are if my dreams get real bizarre, 'cause I've saved a few and I keep. Oh, like he kept the dreams or the fireflies?
It keeps a couple of fireflies in a jar. So
Ah,
there's a metaphor where you have fireflies in a jar and then you shake it and then you can use it as a light.
that's animal cruelty.
No, well, I don't know. It's kind of in mythic. Yeah, at first I thought it had a negative valence, but I thought like, yeah, like you having them to guide you, right? Maybe like it could be viewed that way, but maybe keeping a few. Yeah, I don't know. You're right, Kara. I
Like
don't know
if
how to feel about
no, but if it's beings of light, it's with people. Like he keeps a few of them in a jar.
that. I prefer not to look at it that way. But he does know where a couple of these people are, right? Like I guess farewell, but he does. I get misty eyes, but I know. So when when the dreams get weird, when he's troubled by his dreams, I know where several are. Like he does have contact with several of them or something. I don't know.
It's like being in contact with a place inside of you that is connected with all of nature. So like there's this place that I hope we can access together, or you can access, that is sacred. And if we get in the right relationship with it, it's always there, despite the funeral or despite the goodbyes. There's always that. I don't know. I think about people who have died, like my mom, for example. There's certain things I can see, like certain roses, pink roses. I see those pink roses and automatically I think of my mom, and it's like she's right there. There's certain things that happen, and you can open that door if you're willing to. I guess they're really hard to put words into these such things. Yes.
Lynn, I'd like your perspective. Like, I want to think of the fireflies in the jar as positive, as using it as a lantern, but I am kind of troubled. I do agree with Kara about how that could be like, do I really want to capture them in a jar? Like to capture like there's something about like trying to hold on to it and keep it by holding it in a jar that's not right. How do you take it? Do you take a positive or a negative valence to that?
Well, I don't know if fireflies can be captured and put in a jar. They were so amazing. The miracle that I seen when they were at our camp spot in Idaho, they were so just beautiful and amazing. And the fact that I think it's a mystical or a mythical or a a cartoon narrative idea that isn't real, the fact that we can put them in a jar and light them. I think it's more of a symbolic.
Yes. Yes.
A symbolic pattern rather than a physical actual thing. I don't know. When you capture spiders and put them in a jar, they die, don't they? I mean, within a certain amount of time. So the fact that you can capture them, and are they even in museums or in zoos? Or wait a second, do people have fireflies somewhere?
Do you what I
don't know.
Do you know what I think of when you have fireflies in a jar? I think of a cartoon with elves, and there's like mushrooms, and because all their technology is based upon nature, so that instead of like creating like a gaslight, they would have fireflies in a jar, right? That's okay. like a fantasy storybook or something.
Oh, so we're like in Lord of the Rings territory.
yeah. Or like, I don't know.
No. I see the look of horror.
The cartoon. We gotta pull it. The cartoon. Maybe the Smurfs. Maybe more of the Smurfs. I don't know.
Yes, definitely.
Or the Shrumps. Maybe Kara doesn't know what the Smurfs are. I don't know.
I know what the Smurfs are. The blue ones.
How about the gnome?
And the gnomes. And Lord of the Rings. Shout out to. Yeah, but it's true. Like I think nature can absolutely be used, but as long as living beings aren't harmed. So here he's like kind of excusing himself. Like, to 10 million butterflies, I will just keep the few of you. Like he actually made this distinction. There are 10 million of you. A few of you in my jar now. Because I'm weird and I don't like goodbyes. So jar. Just like.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I got misty eyes as they said farewell, so let me keep some of you in the jar.
But I don't think the ones, yeah. Mm-hmm. And he also, like, what about the line, but I know where some are? Does that mean, like, but I may have lost contact with a million fireflies, but I know where some are, like, I could visit them or something, right? Like, I could go find the place where the fireflies are if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to put that on my bucket list before I die. See
What's
fireflies.
That? Oh yeah.
I have to figure out how to do that. See where they're at. I have to Google it.
Imagine today in a dream you will be surrounded by fireflies, both of you. Like we will just go to sleep, and there is this massive Milky Way, but the Milky Way comes closer, and there's only 10,000 fireflies, and they all kind of dance in front of us, foxtrot, and then they will invite us in, and then we all dance in the Milky Way, and that's the dream we have.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
And so, Lynn, you can always kind of, I went too far with my head. Just like
you had this.
Yeah.
You had this like expression, like I was on the edge of my chair, and then you stopped.
Yeah. So I wanted to say, so Lynn, you can always just, if you don't see them soon enough, you can see them every time if you close your eyes, like that. Like I think our imagination is really powerful to our brain as well. It's like almost real. But yeah.
It's like memories, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's exactly what I thought. You took the words out of my mind. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I must confess, I have never seen fireflies in my life.
I might have. I don't know.
I haven't. Never. I would like to see some. I got sad.
I wonder if there's a song called 10,000 Dragonflies. Sorry. I don't know where that came
Yeah,
from. That was random.
dragonflies.
Sorry, that was random.
No,
I
I
just
had
thought,
this about dragonflies myself. I have this connection with dragonflies, but of course that would be the dragon of chaos, and okay, we don't want to go into that symbology.
maybe.
It's all complicated.
I have a YouTube video where, like, it's on YouTube, where a kitten looks at two dragonflies performing like a reproductive act, and the kitten is looking at them, and they're like connected and doing that thing, kind of they fly like that, like they're doing that, and the kitten looks at them, and like trying to catch them, and then at some point he decides to jump, and they just like moved slightly further. The kitten all disappointed, like he was like for a few minutes going to jump at them. So I have that video where I captured. I love dragonflies, especially like there are rare ones, they're really big ones like that. We used to have those big ones, but they kind of they got extinct. Like in my lifetime, I have seen like although provided I was a child, so to me everything is kind of big, but it was bigger than my hand, as my child's hand. That's how big those dragonflies were. Like and the different colors of them, they're blue ones, they're green ones, they're even yellow ones. Like it's amazing. Dragonflies are awesome.
And I think of that how we say, oh, if I was a fly on the wall, so there's that reference to a fly on the wall. I wonder where that came from.
Being a fly on the wall is like something small that can be unnoticed. It's like being invisible thing. That's what it.
Why isn't a mosquito called a blood fly?
A sword fly, a syringe fly.
Syringe fly.
Yes.
That's
Because
great.
it has this thing.
Syringe fly.
Imagine 10,000 mosquito flies. Vampire flies. Oh, it's a vampire fly.
10,000 vampire flies.
In here, I do see that this guy is not yet suffering from apathy, but he cannot sleep. So he might start, if he will continue this way, he might stop seeing fireflies, and he will just go into this like, I just need to sleep, something wrong, and like that pattern. So it is a development. He loses those fireflies here, in a sense.
Yes, very much so. I mean, I hadn't put it together about the jar thing, being a negative in the jar, and I only had thought about it as a positive, of beings of light, not necessarily the negative part of it. So and it's still special because it'll always remind me of seeing those fireflies and the miracle that I seen them when I was a young girl in the 80s. So yeah. Corey?
It kind of strikes me on a very personal level, to be honest, like the idea of dreams and being kept awake. Like sometimes I have these dreams and then I can't go to sleep. So then because I'm upset by my dreams, I like will create music or something, right? And occasionally I think of like relating to the singer, if he's saying that like, yeah, that he says where I know where some of them are. I get says in my dreams, real bizarre. No, I get, where does he say? He knows where some of them are, right? Like I get this feeling of like looking for your people and sometimes suffering a crisis because you're not around other people that have that light. If you're only around people that don't have the light, it's difficult. And then you see the fireflies that have the light, and then you're like, you want to be around that, right? So I don't know if that was too obtuse, but
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, he preserved the memory and he keeps and he say it's appreciation thing again, like on the beginning he appreciates it enough to preserve it. Yeah, it's an excellent song, well written as well, and I love it.
What was resonant for you, Kara?
Oh, in that song, dreaming part where he would imagine things, he would put magic into surroundings. He would put magic into the sky. He would imagine that those beings would interact with him. Oh, like I have fire.
Mm.
There's I have fire behind me. So he would imagine those dreams, and his actual active participation in them, interaction with them, and even at the end when he would feel kind of more scared and being alone and asking them to take him away, and then he would take a more active approach. He would just keep some of them. I think as a metaphor, though. I hope. Yeah, I like that wonder. Wonder in here resonated most with me, and the hope as well. So wonder and hope resonated with me.
Thank you for sharing. It was a great experience, ladies. It's always a pleasure. So
Thank you, Agent. Thank you, Lynn. Guys, it's amazing that we all have free time today. Please, whoever provides free time to all of us, sponsor, give more to everybody of free time, to use it for good, to use it for creativity, for fun, for talking to people, for dancing with fireflies. Yes, and subscribe to Lynn's YouTube channel, follow Agent and Lynn on Discord, and you can all talk to them in Awakening from the Meaning Crisis Discord server. Thank you. It was a pleasure and an honor. Bye.
just as Len brings the energy.
Let's go!
Oh,
Good.
wow.
She has a
That's
good voice,
beautiful.
eh?
Yes.
Yeah, she had that. What's that called? Tremolo or vibrato?
I call it opera, Lynn.
Do you want to blow out our candles together? Because I have a candle going too.
Oh.
Okay, sure.
Okay, let me get it.
Sisters of, is this the ceremony of the Sisters of Light?
Yes, there is one for you.
Oh, thank you. Should I imaginary blow it out too?
Totally, 100%. I have one for Corey.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, done.